I was standing in our walk-in closet, holding a silk dress that cost more than my mother's first car. Outside, the gardener was trimming the hedges of our Greenwich estate. To anyone looking in, I was the queen of the castle. But as I reached for my favorite blazer, I heard Julian's voice from the master bath. He didn't know I was home. He was on the phone with his mother. "Don't worry about the prenup, Mom," he said, his voice dripping with that casual cruelty I'd learned to fear. "She's so desperate for my approval, she'll sign the amendment without reading it. Once that's done, I can move the offshore accounts, and she'll be lucky to leave with her clothes. She's served her purpose." I didn't scream. I didn't storm in there and demand an explanation. My heart didn't even race. It just went cold. For 5 years I had been his purpose. I was the polished wife, the social lubricant for his business deals, the woman who shrunk herself so he could feel like a giant. I set the dress down. I didn't need it. I reached for a battered duffel bag hidden under the winter coats, the one I'd kept from my college days. I realized then that Julian didn't just want my signature, he wanted my soul. And for the first time in a long time, I decided it wasn't for sale. I met Julian Vance in 2018. I was a junior architect with paint under my fingernails and big dreams. He was the Vance in Vance Holdings. He didn't just walk into a room, he owned the air inside it. At first, the attention was intoxicating. He'd send car services to my tiny apartment. He'd listen, or so I thought, to my ideas about sustainable housing. But looking back, the red flags weren't red. They were gold-plated. The first warning, he offered me a job at his firm. "Why work for someone else when you can build our legacy?" he asked. I quit my firm. I didn't realize he was removing my financial independence. The second warning, he suggested we move away from my family. "They're so draining, Elena. You need peace to create." I stopped calling my sister. I didn't realize he was removing my support system. By the time we married in a $1 million ceremony in Tuscany, I was completely isolated. I was a bird in a gilded cage and I had handed him the key. The marriage wasn't bad in the way people expect. There were no bruises. It was a slow erosion. Julian had a way of making me feel small with a single look. If I expressed an opinion at dinner, he'd chuckle and pat my hand. "Stick to the decor, darling. Let the men handle the strategy." I started having these episodes, panic attacks that felt like heart attacks. I went to a doctor in secret, Dr. Eris. I told him I thought something was wrong with my heart. He looked at my charts, then looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "Your heart is fine, Elena. Your environment is toxic. You're living in fight or flight mode 24 hours a day." I tried to talk to Julian about it. I told him I wanted to start my own boutique firm. His response? He laughed. Not a mean laugh, but a patronizing one. He told me I was cute, but lacked the killer instinct for the real world. That night I found the first set of documents. Julian had been using my name, my credit, my signature, on shell companies. He wasn't just my husband. He was using me as a legal shield for his shady investments. If the ship sank, I was the one who would go to prison. Hearing him on the phone that morning was the final piece of the puzzle. He wasn't just a jerk, he was a predator. I had exactly 2 hours before his meeting, where he expected me to sign those papers. I didn't pack much. A few pieces of jewelry that were mine before him. My laptop, my birth certificate. I remembered what Dr. Eris said. I had to choose life. I called a burner phone I'd bought weeks ago, a precaution my gut had insisted on. "Sarah?" I said when my sister picked up. "Elena, is that you?" she asked. "I'm coming home. I need you to meet me at the old Greyhound station, not the airport, the station." I knew Julian would track my phone. I knew he'd track the Tesla. So I did something he never expected. I left my phone on the charger in the kitchen. I took the keys to the 2010 beat-up SUV we kept for the groundskeeper. It was dusty, it smelled like mulch, and it was invisible. As I drove down the long driveway, I saw Julian through the study window. He was smiling, looking at his watch. He thought he was about to win. He didn't see me slip past the gates. Leaving didn't fix everything overnight. The divorce was a bloodbath. He tried to claim I was mentally unstable. He tried to freeze every cent. But remember those shell companies he put my name on? He forgot one thing. As the legal owner, I had access to the records. I didn't want his money. I just wanted my freedom. I handed those files over to the SEC. Today, I live in a small apartment in the city. It's not a mansion. The heater clanks, and I have to do my own laundry. But every morning, I wake up and the air feels light. My heart hasn't raced in months. Julian is currently embroiled in 3 federal lawsuits. His killer instinct finally caught up with him. Looking back, I see the 3 warnings I ignored. First, the isolation. Second, the dismissal of my dreams. Third, the physical toll my body was taking to tell me what my mind wouldn't admit. God gives us signs, but we have to be willing to look at them. I forgot my designer life that morning, but I found my soul. If you're in a relationship that is asking you to be smaller so they can be bigger, get out. Don't wait for a perfect time. The perfect time is the moment you realize you deserve to breathe. I chose to walk out that door with nothing, and in doing so, I gained everything.